This is Iron and Soul, and today is day one of the 30 Days of Iron series. And I want to begin by doing a video on Steve Jobs and the practice of semen retention. I think this is a good way to kick off this November series. But before I get into that, my thoughts on Steve Jobs, I want to talk about just what this month is about and how many men grow out their beards throughout this month. Guys decide to go on what we call No Nut November, where you choose to retain your seed for the entire month of November. This also has to do with prostate cancer awareness and just an overall challenge of men to refrain from ejaculation and to practice sexual control, no fap, whatever word you want to use, semen retention for a 30-day duration. This became popular around 2011 for a number of reasons, and it's something that a number of men, even hearing this, will laugh at, scoff at, and think, okay, this is a joke. Who takes that serious? Because the popular teaching is that masturbation, ejaculation is healthy for you, and when you don't do that consistently, you are at risk for prostate cancer. So you know what I think about that? That's nonsense. I don't believe that. I think that when you practice semen retention, you actually are healthier for a number of reasons, and I won't get into all that today. We talked about that for the last year. But today's topic is semen retention and Steve Jobs. I want to begin with reading a quote from one of his ex-girlfriends in terms of his practice while they were intimate. His ex-girlfriend says, "Our birth control method up to this point was Steve's practice called the pull-out method, which for him was about his conserving his energy for work. He didn't want to climax to build power and wealth by conserving his vital energies." Now, Steve Jobs is someone who we all know. He is the co-founder for Apple company, which has a net worth now of $1 trillion. He is someone who definitely built power and wealth, of course, from his mind and his intelligence, his creative ability, and his business mindset. But as a base for him, he did believe in the practice of semen retention. So he is definitely one of my examples of famous practitioners of this discipline. You think about the practice or any type of practice, it's common sense or it's logic to think, okay, who's done this and what has it done for them? So we talked about a number of famous men over the last several weeks, and today we're speaking about Steve Jobs as a great example of a person who did build power and wealth because of his practice of semen retention, among other things, but also his business mindset and all that he did. So he's a great example of this. He built his wealth through selling personal computers, phones, and 7.4% he owned stock in Walt Disney. 7.4%. That's how he built a lot of his wealth. He is someone who can be an example to us of focus. He's someone who definitely would be in agreement with the teaching from the popular book, Think and Grow Rich. And that is the practice of sexual transmutation. And that is essentially taking your sexual desire and taking that drive and redirecting it to other endeavors, such as reading, working out, keeping yourself physically fit, meditation, prayer. I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's video, by the way. But just spending time elevating yourself to a higher level, becoming a high value man. And so he is someone who is definitely a great example of this principle and one we can look to. I think kind of the take home value from Steve Jobs is for men who are married like myself. He was a married man and he found a way to practice this while married. I get this question all the time from my married men who follow my channel. And it kind of gives you an answer. It's not going to be easy. It's going to require some practice. And essentially is the pull-out method. I can't give you any more details than that. You know what that means. Granted, like any other practice, you're going to fall a few times. It's just the way it works. But with practice, and also greater than that, your purpose. Why are you practicing semen retention? What is your goal? And if you have a goal in mind and you're trying to focus on something, then this can be explained to your partner. And I struggle to figure out why a woman who loves you would have a problem with this. If you're explaining your purpose, which is to build wealth and to go forward in life financially, to get your mind at a higher level, to stay focused, or to, and nothing else, at the very least, you can have the energy you need to work several hours each day. And so there are a variety of reasons why married men like myself and others can practice semen retention. So I get that question all the time. You're married, how do you practice semen retention? It's easy. How does Steve Jobs do it? Okay? Guys, when you have passion, when you have a focus and a desire, and you have goals that are something that you want to achieve and strive towards in your life, you find ways to make that happen. It's just that simple. That's what sacrifice is all about. Why did Kobe Bryant wake up each morning at 5 a.m.? He wanted to be the best basketball player in the world. It's that simple. When you have goals, when you have a desire to go forward in life and to push yourself, you sacrifice. Whether that's waking up at 5 a.m. playing basketball, whether that's a person working 10, 15 hours a day to build a new business, whether that's Malcolm X surviving off of 4 hours of sleep. And I believe being able to achieve and accomplish in 12 years as a public minister what some people are not able to achieve in 30 or 40 years of work, he sacrificed. So great men make sacrifices to do great things. And we see that with Malcolm X, with Muhammad Ali, Steve Jobs, and we can go on and on and on. Kobe Bryant, we can name people like Tom Brady, others who are successful men, who are able to make sacrifices and to push themselves to the next level. If you want to achieve great things, you have to do what others don't do. It's that simple. And this is why the practice of semen retention is probably within the 1 to 5% worldwide of men. Most guys are not going to do this. That's been my research. As you know, I have spent several hours studying this, I read a book, which I didn't like too much, to be honest. I'll only give you the title of the book. But I've read a lot of articles, which really were more helpful for me, of hearing personal testimonies. Because I always like to have personal, real examples. So I like to hear stories of men, real guys, who have done this and how it helped them. And so from my research, from reading the testimonies of many men, reading several articles and watching videos and taking notes in my own personal study myself in my own practice, it's clear to me that most guys are not going to do this. They either don't believe in it, they laugh it off, they think it's a joke, or they minimize it, they think it's something weird. And so that being said, this is not a conversation you can have with the average guy. The average guy isn't ready for this. It's just that simple. Most guys, 9 out of 10, will either scoff at this or they'll give you that prostate cancer bull crap, which is what it is. It's bull crap. It's bull. You will not get prostate cancer from practicing semen retention. That's nonsense. That's something they teach you to convince you to lose your life force essence. The same people, listen to me, you guys are intelligent. The same people who are telling you you're more susceptible to prostate cancer if you don't release are the same people who are pushing pornography down your throat. Think about that. Let me say it again. The same people who are telling you you'll get prostate cancer if you don't masturbate are the same ones who are flooding the internet with pornography. So what does that tell you? They don't have your best interest in mind. They're convincing you to do this because they know that if you're sexually active all the time, releasing sometimes 2-3 times a day. I'll be honest, I did sometimes some of my bad days, 2-3 times a day. Terrible. When you're like that, you're not focused, you're distracted. You can't think straight. You can't get in front of a camera like I am right now and speak from the heart for 10 minutes, look guys in the eyes, and have a real conversation. You can't do it. So the same people who convince you to live like that are the same ones who are telling you that somehow this is going to hurt you. So that being said, if you do what most guys are going to do, you get the same results as most guys. If you want to be exceptional and to achieve great things in your life, then you have to make sacrifices. And so semen retention is a sacrifice that only 1 to 5% of men worldwide are willing to make. And I'm grateful I'm a part of that 1 to 5%. And I'm grateful that you also, who watch me, are a part of that 1 to 5% of men worldwide who have made the decision to practice sexual transmutation or semen retention. This is Iron in the Soul. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram at PercyEdmonds37. Take care.